Everything is a Remix is an online 4-part documentary that discusses the nature of creativity and how it's expressed in our music, culture, and film itself. What exactly drew you to this issue, and what was it about the remix, using that as a way to sort of understand creativity throughout history?
I think it started back in like probably around 2007. That was when Danger Mouse had come out with the Grey album, which was, you know, a mashup of the Beatles' White Album and Jay-Z's The Black Album, and became, you know, kind of a sensation online. It was like corporations thought that you just could not touch their stuff. It had gotten really bad. I felt like there was hypocrisy to that, you know, because I feel like any sort of thing that you create, you're using other people's work in your work.
By the mid-1970s, Led Zeppelin are the biggest touring rock band in America, yet many critics and peers label them as rip-offs. Zeppelin clearly copied a lot of other people's material, but that alone isn't unusual.
You know, copying things and transforming them and combining them, that's how creativity happens. We have to use the work that is around us. We don't just create things out of the blue.
You start with sort of the general understanding of the concept of a remix, but then you jump from, you know, its role in pop culture and leap to technology, which is kind of an extension of that. But then from there, you go into science.
I was introduced to plenty of ideas as the series was unfolding. You know, some of those conversations that I had with people ended up informing episodes. Like, for instance, the science stuff, you know, the part about evolution, that I think that originally came from somebody else. You know, a science writer wrote me and said, you know, I mean, this process is evolution that you're talking about.
Can you talk a little bit about the actual way that you made the film? I mean, you're basically using the exact medium that you are diagnosing or describing in it, in terms of it's a collection of clips and images and borrowing from other formats.
I mean, I felt like I just had to do it that way. Like, I'm calling it Everything is a Remix. It's about how creativity is like remixing. I felt like I had to use, I mean, I've got to eat my own dog food, basically. I hadn't made stuff mostly out of other people's stuff, although over time that did change. But I felt like it was just the natural way to do it. I was interested in seeing how those processes actually worked, and it definitely informed the story. Like, the actual process of making these videos informed the writing of the ones that came later.
So sort of at the end of Everything is Remixed, you sort of reveal yourself as the filmmaker. Is it important to you to personalize your films? I mean, it seems like documentaries nowadays, the sort of filmmaker is almost a character in their own right. Was that a conscious decision on your part?
It was not. It was not planned. I didn't have aspirations for it to be part of the format. Just sort of emerged, you know. It was sort of one of those just random things that ended up becoming sort of the signature style of the series.
How does it work exactly when you get a call from Ted to come and, I mean, I know there's no Ted, but like, you get a call where it's like, you have been chosen. Come to us. Inform us of your wisdom. Like, how does that actually happen?
Radical openness was the theme that year. In retrospect, it was fairly inevitable that I would have crossed their radar at some point. It's just another email in your inbox, and it happens to be Ted. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you didn't, you know, I'm glad it didn't get shot over into Spamsville. That's great. Thanks so much to Kirby for joining us. You can actually check out his entire film, Everything is a Remix, free online by clicking the link in the description below, which will also lead you to his website to check out his upcoming projects. Check out A Place at the Table, which is our documentary on the fight against hunger in America, and learn how to take your place in the fight against hunger. For BFD, I'm David Park. Be sure to subscribe.
One in most recent history that has changed my life on a daily basis is Food Inc. It made me change the way I eat on a daily basis. And yes, it changed my wallet because organic